Okay, welcome to the Micky and Woody show for our third edition. Micky, again, mate, good feedback last week from our second show. I don't think we're doing too bad, are we?
No, we've had a good start, so hopefully we can make it 3 in a row. We've had good feedback, and again, we've had some cracking guests and another 2 special guests tonight coming up. So keep doing it, keep enjoying it, and hopefully enjoy it.
Only thing is, though, Micky, like we're going up with the guests now, aren't we? We started with like Lee Breeze and Paul Helens, and we went a bit better. We got a Wigan player, Sean O'Loughlin, and Mike Grundy from USC, and now we've got Johnny Vegas and Paul Sculthorpe, St Helens legends. So where do we go from here?
No, we've raised the bar pretty high early, haven't we? So I don't know what we're going to after this one, but yeah, it's again 2 brilliant guests. Paul Sculthorpe, MBE, missed that one out, Paul.
Yeah, sorry, Scully. Sorry, Scully.
All right, mate.
Well, after this, you set up an art club or something. you get Scully rolling around with body paints.
I might get him. We can get him like stand there with no clothes on. What's it called? That one, you know, the landscape.
Yeah, I don't know. I just whenever I see him, I say, I want to draw like one of my French women.
My missus has just popped her head in here when she said Scully, no clothes on. She's buzzing here, my missus.
Hey, my best mate and long-suffering assistant, Bev Dixon, was like, "Oh, what's he up to?"
Did you comment before, Johnny, as well?
You are?
She tried a hot dog.
Oh, I know. She has an unfortunate way of writing things up. Just on a long dog.
Extra tasty and meaty, she said.
Was it 6? Was it a 6-inch or 12-inch?
Yeah. Oh, definitely a foot long.
I know. Sully, did you see her watching you eat? She was just there. She was just there going, "That's it. Go on. You need your nutrients. Go on, Paul. Go on, Paul. Eat it for me, Paul. Get it all down your neck, Paul."
Right, listen, I'm going to have to stop this here, but...
I think you should. You know what I mean? This is a podcast for everyone. Not just for Dave, you stalking weirdo.
What we'll do, Johnny, is we'll start with yourself, but obviously known as Johnny, not Johnny Vegas is your name, character name, but Michael Pennington is your birth name. Tell us how you come about getting the name Johnny Vegas.
It's really weird because it's a bit lost in time. Me and my best mate, Brad Davis, we used to work behind bar together at Brown Edge. And we went out one night and we had a few. And suddenly it was this nickname, Vegas, and I was Vegas. And we worked behind bar for about 2 years. And then one night, these lasses came in and they went, "Oh, we were there that night when you said you were going to become Johnny Vegas." And we went, "When we finish shift, do you mind sticking around and explaining like why it was Johnny Vegas?" Because initially I was, you know, the film Grease. It was Johnny Casino and the Gamblers, and I used to mess about and call myself Johnny Casino. Anyway, these girls stayed around. We got that drunk with them. They explained how I became Johnny Vegas, but we forgot. So it's lost in time. I started out as Johnny Casino from Greece, and then it became Johnny Vegas. But we'll never know. But I kind of like stuff like that. You know, where you go, it's lost in the mist of time.
Do you know what? I've got loads of them stories when I used drinking St Helens with Lee Breeze, what have just got lost in time. So I'm familiar with that. It tends to happen in St Helens, I think.
Well, I think it's that thing where they go, I had a lad the other day, and fair play, he was doing voluntary job work, and he went, "Oh no, sorry, the photographer at the run for LLT PPE," and he's going, "I was at that gig, the one where you fell in the orchestra pit," and you're going, "Done that loads of times." You're going to have to have it down. You know what worst one was it running horses in town, and I went to do a stage dive, and I thought they'll catch me. And the irony, I promise you, did a proper run up. I could have cleared it, and I caught my ankle on the Guinness pump. You know, the handle. And swung round and just caught my face up there, flat face. And it's proper hard to get up after that and go, right, let's finish on Love Boat.
Just
Anyway, sorry, I'm talking
No, it's fine. Obviously, you're a fat wee lad. You're a St Helens lad. Have you always been a Saints fan, or is that something that's come like over the last 10 years?
I mean, I don't know. You can't be a Saints fan, but I had a weird kind of, without making it too deep. I sort of, my dad always took my brothers to the matches, and then he got laid off under Thatcher, and it was seen as a bit of a, we can't all afford to go. So I used to go and climb over, you know, my mates. I lost my best Adidas Kagoo, barbed wire. I had to tell my mum that a Wiganer had took it off me. So I came to Saints. It was more like, it was what everyone, you know what I mean? You went to games. It was part of your week, biggest build-up.
It's what they were in St Helens, wasn't it? Everybody looked forward to game day, didn't they?
Yeah, yeah. And you if you weren't doing it, it was like you'd have been social distancing in an odd way. It was just, I've always said it, honestly, without sounding, the heart and soul of this town is Saints.
Yeah.
Industry has come and go, everything. You can be a flash in the pan, but the one thing that's kept this town together is Saints.
100%, definitely. I had the privilege. I think you'll have played as well, Paul. I think it was Kieran Cunningham's testimonial match, and you come on for a cameo appearance and did a nice drop off.
You had to throw in cameo, didn't you? I played my arse out.
It's the best 2-minute spell I've ever seen anybody play.
I still argue with Ian Bulsworth over my kick. In my head, it sailed 50 yards.
It connected well, that, didn't it? It did.
No, because I was probably wound up before that. Because all of them had us up for, like, even, like you said, my best mate rang me and he went, look, I know you take it Micky, but these lads do this for real and you might get proper hurt. And the producer that was with us had never seen a rugby league match. And I said, I think we should change it where I chicken out and run off. And he went, oh, don't be ridiculous. And he saw it first half, and I'm sorry, I know it's a podcast, but he shit himself. And he was like, you're going to get really hurt on here. And I went, that's what I've been telling you. And I was up at Burdett Hand in full kit drinking vodka neat. I was like, I've made a huge mistake. And it was getting, oh God, it was getting 10 stitches in his head. He went, look out for number 11, just stay away from him. And I went, working hard on that field where nobody's gonna. And obviously, evidently, nobody went near me. You know what I mean? Absolute gents. And there, but I was no bigger buzz, is there? Running up field, but I've never been. Every picture anyone sends me going, do you remember that day? I look terrified, like proper, as you should be. You know what I mean?
I think you started the no-look pass when you just like threw the ball behind your shoulder and ran off. All the coaches got onto that, the no-look pass. It was a trend for a few years.
I couldn't get rid of it quick enough, could I?
Scully, I don't think that's any different to how anybody would feel though that day, because no matter how many games you play rugby, that's just box standard, that nervousness. And you know, Johnny probably feels similar going on stage, but as a rugby player, it's petrifying, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's like you say, it's what you do, isn't it? And you know, I suppose for Johnny as well, like you say, it's like us going doing a stand-up sketch. Couldn't think of anything worse. But yeah, I mean, you know, that's the buzz of doing it, isn't it? It's that adrenaline and going out there in front of, you know, tens of thousands of people and doing what you enjoy doing. And
well, I'll tell you what. Here's my thing, because like I think the stand-up, you've got to be weird to want to do it, and it's a bit selfish. But without trying to sail too deep out, you carry your own weights and ambitions with you. I'd like to put a question out to you, lads. Like, how do you feel running out on a field when an entire town, do you know what I mean?
yeah. Yeah.
Their week is based on how well you do in a match. And when a match goes, do you know what I mean? The responsibility that you carry, I've never had to do that.
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest buzzes, and I think that's why people want to play for the teams like St Helens. and know Woody was at Warrington, and they're very much the same. Where there is so much expectancy, I wouldn't want to play for a club that are happy in the games. You know, I want to play for a club that wants to win things and expects to win things and demands to win things, which St Helens do. You know, and Warrington.
But how do you deal with, like, I've had gigs where you're going, I don't want to be seen by another human being for a week. You know what I mean? When you've had a shocker, how do you personally bring yourself back from that? Is it just a quiet thing of going, I know I'm better than that?
Yeah, I think so. I think you can't let it consume you in regards to, you know, it is, if you have a bad game, you've got to take it on the chin. You've got to take the criticism as you would take the, you know, the accolades, and it's how you bounce back from it, and that's a test of character, and usually that's, you know, why clubs sign certain players, because, you know, those who set the standards, and also, you know, when you have bad games, everybody has them. It's how you respond.
But again, sorry, I'm turning this into like an interview. I don't mean to. What do you do? Because you sort of run your own. What do you lads do when you get a bit of information from a coach that you completely disagree with, in terms of how do you toe the line when you're going instinctively, I think you're wrong?
I think any good coach, certainly speaking for myself, experiences, any good coach has that give and take with a player, and certainly as a player on the field, you see things and feel things that coaches don't. I'll tell you a little story. I had 2 weeks on the run. I was always a captain who wanted to make decisions on the field based on what I knew, and 2 weeks running, we had penalties where the coach has sent the kicking tee on to kick the goal, and I went against it and sent him off. And then the week after, he went, kick the ball in play, we kick the goal. And I went, no, we'll take the two. And both weeks, I was right. We ended up winning both games, and the second one by 2 points. And I had a conversation with Daniel Anderson, and he says, you know, I use this as part of a talk when, you know, when I talk to like corporate and stuff, of giving responsibility to those on the coalface, you know, and let them make decisions, the right decisions. And Daniel Anderson pulled me in. He says, 2 weeks running, he said, you've gone against my order, my message.
No, I'm fascinated by it.
That's why you can't.
Sorry, mate. I'm sorry I cut you off there. I didn't mean. I'm fascinated by it because that was always my thing of going, I don't mind dying on my arse as long as I die on my own terms.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And when you're out there, you know the mood of the team, the mood of the field, and when you go, we've got it, or we haven't.
Yeah.
I think Tony's Sorry, Scully. I thought just to jump in there, I think like with Tony Smith, what he said to us is, you said you've got a game plan here. These are your instructions, but he said treat it like wet cement. It's still adaptable. It's still moving. He said nothing's set in stone here. He said if you see something and you want to go for that option, you go for it. But he said if it balls is up, he said then you'll get whipped on the arse. He said, and if it goes right for you, you'll get a big arm round you, and they will be telling you how well you've done. So it's just that you take your chances, don't you?
It's exactly that. And I know comics who you go out and you read the room, like you read the pitch. You know what I mean? Yeah. You read the game, don't you? And you go, I think the best adapt there and then, and decide what to do. And if you don't know how to adapt, you just run yourself into it. You know what I mean?
I think our game at the moment has fallen into the trap of too much structure.
Yeah,
and I think there's a lot of young players who've come into our game now who've all they've ever known because the game has changed and the way coaches coach has changed. There isn't, you'll know Micky because you've had and. Woody probably a bit earlier. You played on both sides of it, with the earlier days, like with myself, early 2000s and what have you, where you a lot more freedom from coaches to play what you're seeing, a lot more flair, and now it is so structured. But a lot of these younger players who are coming through now to take them key positions have never known anything different. So when it comes to a game that the structure that the coach gives you isn't working. Yeah. Some of them can't adapt because they've never played to play what they see.
Is that a corporate thing of like the fear of failure has got that great that you can justify losing as long as you stick to the rules, but if you try out different and lose, then you're damned.
Personally, I think there is a bit of that now. Yeah, I do. Like we'll go back to that when we played in the early, like say 2000, Scully, like plus even Tony Smith to a point. And when we were at Warrington, like your big players, you score one in probably 15 of your big players, wouldn't you? It was your instinct and your setup players. Like say you just push with like I don't know somebody and he slip a ball to you, and you end up scoring off the back of that, and then your full back comes through. The amount of tries we used to score like that, just off a quick play the ball, wouldn't it? All bets are off and we play. And I think like the game has gone from that a little bit.
Recognising what's in front of you. That's the thing with rugby. It's a very simple game, and you do the simple things. I think if you're fitter, faster, stronger than them, and your core skills good, and you understand what's in front of you, that makes the best teams. Not the big, fancy players and
Well, because every team near enough has the same players. There's not that many players around, is there? We all have roughly the same game plan, your same techniques, your same attacking players. It's probably who executes them and probably your individuals who are better than others.
But you're still up against like everyone that stands as a know-it-all, and they don't understand. Like, it's not they don't understand. Of course, they understand. Sorry, that's dead condescending. But it's that thing of going, you do something right and it goes unnoticed. One bit of flirt is remembered forever. But you know that bit where you're going, sometimes you're not being commended on doing the basics right. Match in, match out. That makes sense.
Jason Hooper was like that. To use a Saints player, I think Jason Hooper was a bit like that at St Helens. He did all the little things. He probably didn't get us. He didn't get enough recommendation as he probably did, Jason Hooper. But he did off his plays though, Scully, didn't he? Do you know what I mean?
I think that's what a lot of fans and outsiders don't see is like, he didn't quite get his, his praise or his recommendations. But I think when you get it from your players, as a rugby player, I think that's enough for you, innit? Your teammates are knowing what you're doing and what you're doing well, and I think the outside stuff as a rugby.
It's like I watched obviously they put a rerun of the 2004 Challenge final on the other day, and you see the first try that Gillis scores, And that all come from Jason Hooper's kick chase on us and pressing him. Now all the highlights and all the headlines and everything will be Gilly. You know, but players will go, Jason Hooper got us that.
Yeah.
Do you think a lot of this fear, though, of failure, do you think it's become sort of within the game and within sport itself because there's that much financial, you know, backing now? And plus coaches, coaches and players, they don't get a lot of time. So, like, within, you know, space of, you know, 5 or 6 bad games, you know, that one bad decision that you make one week can sort of cycle into a bit of a shitty cycle, really, for your team.
Do you know what? Without being, I mean, exactly the same point now. And I know I'm not trying to compare what I do to what you lads do, but they're that afraid about original that they won't commission out original because they want to commission something that looks like something that's already been by mistakes. So they stick to a game plan that's that tight that there's no room for out new because it's all justifiable because they've got to say, right, if it goes wrong, who's to blame? And everybody's so afraid of who's to blame that you don't get to try for 4 episodes. It's seen as a failure when you're trying to develop something. You know what I mean? You're finding your feet, you're new coach, new team, but the pressure to immediately be seen as successful destroys the entire, because they're all in a panic and they go, right, we'll switch, we'll do this. And you go, sometimes the fans have to take responsibility. You've got to have a bit of patience. Do you know what I mean? See how it plays out. But other times, it's a bit like we didn't even get a chance to find out whether it were working or not. Because you just went into a kind of panic buying mode.
So do you see that yourself, Johnny, within your industry as well?
I do all the time, and I see it more, and I'm getting more and more fed up going in pitching. But I'm in a weird sort of job where I had a chat with an actress today, mate, and I'm going, do you know what? I'd rather go back and start shooting stuff in Taylor Park just for the crack and putting it out rather than sitting in front of another telly exec and justifying why I think something's funny, because they'll never get it. They've never done it. And I sound bitter. I'm not. But you're going, I'm just getting a bit too tired for this shit. And I think within that sport, when it starts to feel formulaic, you know what I mean? When it looks like, I think it's when you're playing, when you see a team and it's almost like the excuse has already been written, or the answer or the apology, and you go, just go out and play the game. Just go out and do your gig. Do the best you can do, day in, day out. And if it fails, it failed. But you know what? Did my best.
It's like with your game plans, isn't it? You can get absolutely bogged down with game plan. You know, you can do. Some coaches were like massive on it. They'd have like sheets and sheets of papers for game plan. Every player, you know, your kickers, whatever. And some coaches are just a couple of bullet points, wasn't it? You know, because not every player can take all that information in. For me, anyway, like Woody, you know, you were just you can't read more.
I was just a natural.
Your lines. So Woody, get me to the right post, pal, because we're having a shift next. You just do your job. It's like, you know, yeah. Right, Woody, that one.
Yeah. Left, right. Do you know what, though, as well, though, Micky, going back to your point there, it's like Johnny's just been making. Your coaches can give you all that information because it justifies what they're doing. Do you know what I mean? It's like something that's already proven. It's a method that's already proven. So it sort of, in a way, it justifies the job in a way, giving you them tactics. But I definitely think that there's a bit of a fear of failure because of, you know, the financial implications and how quick people want success these days. Just on that, guys, we're just going to take a quick break because we're going to hear from our sponsors. Get a tax rebate.
At Get a Tax Rebate, we make it easy for you or your business to claim back thousands of pounds in tax. Most people, like Jane and Philip, don't realise that they are owed money from HMRC, so they never claim. All you need to do is fill out a simple form on our website and we'll do the rest. It's that simple. We've also helped business owners claim back millions of pounds in research and development R&D tax credits. So if you're working in a business or own one, contact us today to see if we can help you claim back tax and improve your cash flow. Get a Tax Rebate, your tax refund concierge.
Yeah, that's it.
but I'm like that as well. You know, the great thing of going, when you know you've got quality squad and quality players, there is times that you've got to give it back to their instincts.
Yeah.
Well, do you know what, Johnny? What he said then about you know, and proven things with, I sometimes disagree because I think, you know, you've got coaches who can move from one club to another with exactly the same knowledge and same information, and doesn't get the same results. You know,
Yeah.
For me, coaches still get too much credit and too much flack for results. The players who've
I think there's times it's frustrating as a fan if you're watching it and you feel like it's being coached from the boardroom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's when it gets difficult because you're supporting the club, but you're sort of going, who's telling who what to do here?
And I think
Because if you don't trust them, why did you bring him in? Don't bring him in and then send orders down from above.
Yeah.
And then you sense the frustration of players.
unfortunately, it does happen a bit that though, doesn't it? You know, kind of the hierarchy above, they do have their say because I don't know whether they think it's their money, whatever, and you know, some like big fans, aren't they, with plenty of money, and it's
Yeah.
it can be a not a great recipe really, but I don't know.
Well,
If,
like the question I asked earlier, you know, where you're going, I'd hate to own Saints because I couldn't go to the supermarket without getting grief. I wouldn't want to be in Morrison's. I split up with my wife and I had a woman come up and she just went, spending Christmas on your own. So imagine if I was, you know what I mean?
Knowledge out there, Johnny, isn't there?
The director of Saints, and you're going, I can't go out with somebody fetch me eggs.
You get Johnny
Don't, because I was that embarrassed last, honestly, at Wembley. I genuinely didn't know they were putting me at Royal Box, and I obviously wasn't dressed for it. I had my retro Saints top on, and he's suddenly going, it's him, and I kept calling him all the wrong names. I kept calling him Your Majesty.
Hey,
and everyone sat there being dead polite, and there's me going, get the ball out, just get it wide, get it out. I kept going, I'm ever so sorry, Your Honour. It was like I was in court.
I bet they're
Oh,
yeah.
Come on,
that's
Micky.
not really me, that.
It's 50 quid.
No, but then I felt like you got a player like Robert, and then I get, unfortunately, caught on video looking like I'm saying rubbish. And you go, look, you know when you love your team that you go, I'll be here next week. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
But it was just one that, it was a tough one. None of us can deny it. That was a I think that was one of them foregone conclusions. You know what I mean?
I went to that game though, Johnny, and when I was walking down to Wembley, everybody was saying, "How do you think we'll go on?" And I've got to put my hands up. My lad's an avid Warrington fan now, and there was only him who believed Warrington could win that day.
Yeah.
Only him. I generally didn't think Warrington were going to win. I thought Saints were going to just blitz Warrington the way they were playing.
Paul, Scully, what was your thought? What was your thoughts on that final? What do you think was what went wrong for Saints? Because Warrington, you could see Warrington's game plan. I think they had Ben Curry at 6. They were just kicked. They completed high, and they just kind of waited for Saints to make mistakes. It looked like for me. I don't know if.
Warrington, however Saints played, you can't take credit away from Warrington. They were outstanding. They were absolutely ruthless in everything they did, and it just shows you. For me, you could certainly in big games, you can throw the form book out the window.
Yeah.
It's about handling that pressure and that big stage that we spoke about before.
I think it's that thing as well, isn't it? Where you go like. It sounds arrogant, but if you are technically sort of top 4, top 5, if you don't bear in mind that every match against you is almost like a cup final in itself, and when you're flying, you know what I mean?
No, well, that's it, because everybody wants to raise their game against you when you're the top dog, and obviously going into that final, Saints were, by far the best team in the league. So you're going to. And all the pressure was on Saints because there was so much expectancy on them to win. But they're still coming up against a very, very good side who were again capable of beating them. And unfortunately for Saints, they got rolled on the day.
Do you think on the back of that, do you think they learned some lessons to take to the grand final the rest of the year?
Yeah, because I think after that, they kicked into a bit more ruthless performances in regards to don't rest on your laurels of what you've done so far, and and then learning from what happened in that final to take into the grand final that this isn't a done deal.
Yeah.
You've got to perform, and then they did. They come out of the blocks, and if Saints perform. We always said it. You've got to have that self-confidence that if we perform, we will not lose. But we have got to perform. If we perform to our best, and Warrington or Wigan perform to their best, we'll win.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to bear in mind. I'm sitting here with rugby league royalty. It's like I've got you trapped in my kitchen. So, I'm. You know what I mean? Asking questions from me, but it's if I was sat with my mates in the pub, and I'll be down this now. This has been my thing with Saints. It's not an issue that I have with them, but hang on, whoa, my lads, sorry, just rolled the cracker on the jack. I'm teaching Crown Green bowling. That was Michael. That was sweet as mate.
Is he?
Sorry about that.
Is it thumb pegging or out?
That was finger peg against the hill, against the crown, and that was a bit of a bomber. No, it's my thing. Get past. I was sat in pub mates is with Saints without doing to is. I'd rather us come in third. Approaching a grand final, because whenever we're leading from the front, the fear of it's not complacency, because it's not right to say that. Of course, no player's complacent, but you go. I think we've always been at our best when we've had so much to chase and when folk have written us off. Do you know what I mean? And when we're the team to beat, sometimes I don't think we're as ruthless as other clubs would be.
Yeah, and that's where I said, I think they really learned from that Challenge Cup final in the grand final by being ruthless.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Don't be ashamed of being the best in the league.
Players, and from a player's point of view, I think that you're saying that from a fan's point of view because you've no control of it. Whereas the players, they've got control of what they do. And I know for me, my point of view, I want to finish top. I want to finish top. I want to go in, and expect people to expect us to win. But at least you can do something about it. As a fan sat in the stand, you help. And certainly when games have gone against you, like that, and losing the semi-finals the year before, it's tough for a fan because, like you say, you can't do anything about it. It's out there.
I tell you what, though,
I also have that thing, like, when you do have a piss poor reffing decision, and then they go, oh, stop your whinging, and you go, nah, I'm sorry, I can't help but feel that they've held us back. It's almost like, they go, when you're on a driving test, and they've got to fail so many people.
Tell you what, though.
It's like that. It proper does my head in when they go, oh, stop whinging because you don't have an automatic right to this. And you go, it was an automatic right to anything in Super League, in Rugby League. Nobody does. It was a bad decision.
Who's the game? Was it Matt? Was he called?
Morgan Knowles.
Morgan Knowles, when he's got the perfect try, that wasn't it? It could have been.
That was a big play because it was the first try of the game.
Yeah.
We know that there's different swings in games that momentum, that you can get from a try that, Saints get another try on the back of that, you're 10, 12 points up. Yeah. It's a different game.
It's a big call, that, not going to the screen, wasn't it? When you've got it in a game like that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, though, let me ask you both then. Scully, what's your biggest disappointment as a rugby player, like performance-wise? And what's yours, Johnny? Have you ever been on stage where you sort of expected to do really good, like St Helens at Wembley, expected to win, and then all of a sudden it's just been an absolute shit fight?
I mean, I've only ever been involved in one final that I've lost, which was 2002 at Murrayfield.
I was there.
Yeah.
And it was like,
Mate,
every time at left wing, it was like, what? They're coming again down there. Do you know what I mean? Buddy?
And that was.
But that was another one that we thought was a foregone conclusion, wasn't it?
I mean, we were in unbelievable form going into that, and no disrespecting Wigan because they had an unreal squad. You look at likes of Farrell and Ferner and Lamb and Binsky. It was one of them days. It was obviously Wigan's day, and I mean the way Radders pulled the Lance Todd win off. He'd been in hospital with his foot. It was one of them. We had a few decisions. I had to try disallowed, which I didn't think was an issue. But I won't say that. But that was a massive disappointment to lose in a fight you're expected to win, and for me we should have won. Could have, would have, should have.
But again, that year we went on to win the grand final, didn't we?
Yeah.
So we didn't let it, because I think a lot of teams, well, it's renowned, isn't it? Like Challenge Cup, sometimes you win the Challenge Cup and you struggle to back it up for the running for the playoffs sometimes.
Was you drunk, Micky, for about 5 weeks?
18 days on pissing it, and then it's like, expect one to happen again.
I remember we won the Challenge Cup, and I think it was in 2004. I think it's when we won it in 2004, and then we played Warrington, and I'm sure it might have been even
yeah, you did.
Next game, and we actually won. We beat Warrington.
You battered us.
Again,
we've been on piss all week.
Mate, I felt like I had a fridge on my back.
You know what? That was the golden age of when you could go to Crystals.
I'll tell you, I remember that story because you
and then watched him the following Sunday going, he was shit-faced last night.
I remember that, Scully, because you beat Wigan in final, and we'd not beat you for a couple of years, and we was like, we'll batter Saints this week because he'd been on keg all week, and you just steamrolled us. You actually battered us that game.
Yeah. I remember I made a break in the second half, and I'm like, "Where's Albie? Where's Albie?" literally could not run.
See, he was one, wasn't he? He could go on piss all week, and he was just fit as a fiddle, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Johnny, what's been your biggest disappointment in terms? Have you ever done well at Goose Green Labour Club?
That's it's too deep a question. See, it's unfair because I'm somebody else when I go out there. And again, without going too deep, it's like I'm full of fear. Johnny's fearless. And bad gigs, I did one, but again, I didn't feel disappointed because it wasn't my fault. I did a gig and it was a massive corporate for Microsoft, and it was like 7,000 people packed in a nightclub venue place in Manchester. And blokes going, do 15 minutes, great. Do 20, love you forever. Do 25 and we'll be friends for life. 3 minutes in, I had my kecks off, stood on a potter's wheel singing My Way, with everyone going, get off. And I left and realised I'd left my jacket and they thought I was trying to do an encore. And they actually went for me. But it's one of them dudes where you're going, look, just get them drunk and let them have a fancy dress too. You know what I mean? I wasn't meant for... I'm not being... It sounds arrogant. You go, there are gigs when you know you read the room wrong. You know what I mean? And you do your best to pull it back. But once you progress to this thing now, that's why I was asking them questions earlier, is going... I, as I go on in my career, feel more and more let down by people who it's the people in control I have more disappointment with than myself. Do you know what I mean? And when you start doing what's asked of you just to sort of make sure that bills are paid, it becomes like a long-term bad result. Of going, why are we doing this when we could be doing that? And
it's not something that you believe in.
Yeah. Like I say, live and die by your own mistakes. I don't mind. I can live with the criticism of that. But it's when other people are going, yeah, but we'd rather you did it more like this, and you go, everybody's doing it more like that.
Yeah.
I didn't start out to do things more like that. I started to do it like this.
Yeah.
So, sorry, I know it's a bit of a crap answer, but that's a
No, spot on that. It's, I mean, Micky will probably vouch for me because he played with me for a while, but where you look up to rugby players and you want to go watching them every week. My dream job would actually be a stand-up comedian. If that was an occupation, I tell the worst jokes, don't I, Micky? But
you do see yourself as a little stand-up comedian, don't you? I'll give you that.
Yeah, I mean, for me, that's where I'd if I was going to have a job apart from rugby, then I'd love to be a stand-up comedy. Comedy for me has played a big. If you have you was asking about how you deal with bad games. You know, a bad performance for me is go home and watch some comedy. You know, whether it's stand-up comedy, a sitcom or something. I'll tap you up anyway because I've got an idea for a sitcom, which you might like.
You just take your time. Just one thing at a time.
Look how scared my eyes are now. Going great. So send it through, and I'll.
I'll get back to
you. Yeah. No. We love getting random scripts in.
Tell us a little bit about what you've been doing for the Steve Prescott Foundation as well, because yourself and Scully, you've been working together. What have you been up to, Scully?
Yeah, obviously, through the Steve Prescott Foundation and the Eccleston Arms, Andy McCall's set a fantastic little spot up there, based at the pub, supplying essential items for those who you know, vulnerable, elderly, or the, you know, the key workers in St Helens, and it's just grown and grown. You know, with he's had his suppliers, so it's a little like a virtual supermarket in there. You know, being able to do deliveries. You know, all the SPF ambassadors have been doing deliveries. So obviously Johnny, myself, Brazy, Tommy Martin, all the guys from Black Book Open Age, and just helping people. You know, doing deliveries, and then obviously gone out to ready meals as well, and Sunday roasts. And it's nice to be able to help those who, you know, are unfortunately in vulnerable places at the moment.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic what you're doing. I've been following on the social media, you know, putting on, and just to see the people's smiles on their faces, because again, you guys, you're the heroes. You know, we all, you know what we're like. We're all down to earth people. We don't see ourselves like at times, but just to put somebody's, you know, smile on somebody's face like that in tough times, it's probably as satisfying as probably not far off games, and you know, like I say, a rapturous applause when you've done a great stand-up or a show. You know, I certainly get a buzz out of things like that.
But I'm not having it, like this. This is what I've always proper loved about league is you know, that difference between league and like footballers is going. There isn't the same, like there's a thing of going. We appreciate where we come from. We appreciate what it matters to you. Do you know what I mean? But never been afraid to go out and proper sort of meet, greet, and be part of the community.
Yeah, 100%.
And with something like this, there's always been, for me, an element of I can do a retweet, but I physically can't be there to do it as well. And it's been probably the happiest period, which sounds really selfish, of my later years, has been back in my hometown for this amount of time. Do you know what I mean? I'm feeling part of my town again. And doing something, and like I'm feeling like you belong again. From a very lonely existence when you do stand up to go, I'm part of a town and I love it. And I love my league because it's like I love the attitude of every lad who plays it. You know what I mean? For the best part, nobody's bigger than the sum of the parts. We're humble, but we're proud. But we know that we're able to achieve amazing things, and that's what they've done through SPF and through Eki Arms. Hey, look what we can do when we put our minds to it.
Yeah,
And our hearts to it.
I think you know, we often hear it. You know, it's a working class sport, rugby league. It's in all, you know, it's all in all the coal mining towns, and your St Helens, your Wiggins, your Warringtons, and I think, like, especially with this lockdown as well, I think it's really brought communities together. You know, and I get that as well. There's a sense of community where I'm living at the minute, where people are speaking to each other a bit more, people are helping each other a bit more. So I think there's a lot to come out of this COVID-19 situation that's going to be very positive, and hopefully we can carry it on.
You best answer that, Paul.
Yeah. Johnny Froze there, he's gone sideways as well. Yeah, I totally agree, Woody, and I said it the other day, you know, I think the way people have pulled together, and let's just hope it's not just because of this situation, or should I say that people don't go back to the selfish ways, and, you know, let's carry on the good work that everybody's been doing, and appreciating those who, you know, certainly the key workers and the NHS, you know, they should really get some rewards for what they've done.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I think
even if it's not monetary or you know, just the credit that they deserve. You know, and if anyone can go out of the way to help these people, then, you know, we should do that and keep pulling together as a community.
Yeah, I totally agree, mate. I hope it, like you say, I hope this doesn't they got the recognition they deserve. Like I say, I hope they carried on there and people appreciate what these people go through. You know, like say your NHSs and your police, your teachers and stuff. You know, they're doing them great jobs, aren't they? You know, it's just a shame they don't get paid a lot. Take some money off people who are earning probably too much money at times, and dish it out. But it's fantastic.
Like rugby league players.
Well, no,
no, we're not.
I'd like to see rugby league players get paid more. I would definitely.
Well,
I think we'd all appreciate that, wouldn't we? More money in the game.
Yeah.
I think for what the game does, and the game leads the way in regards to community, and it's one of the sports in the world for community, and I think for what the game holds, the values and the culture of the sport, the respect, it certainly deserves more than it gets.
Yeah.
Just moving on from, well, not moving on, but the Steve Prescott Foundation, obviously, it plays a big part in your life, Scully. And, Steve was a great bloke and very brave guy. And he did a lot of positive things within the community, and it's recognised as well in St Helens. But there's also Martin Blundell as well, who we seem to have lost him, but he's pushing a big campaign because Martin is the guy behind the scenes who does a lot of stuff for the Steve Prescott Foundation.
He is. Martin's been there from day one with Steve. He was the first to support Steve, and he's lived and breathed it ever since. So he's been nominated for an award with the Telegraph, and obviously Johnny posted a video yesterday that some of all the people involved with the foundation have supported of Martin, and there's no more deserved winner. He's never done anything for accolades and that. He's just done it for pure love of Steve and the foundation since, and he really does put himself about. So for me, no more deserving person, and he's always looking for that next thing to help others. And this stuff with the essential items now and linking up with the Eccleston Arms. It's just been, to be hands-on involved with it. You see, the difference it makes to people and the opportunities it gives people. So
Outstanding.
Martin will, if everyone can get behind it. I think the votes finished today, so I'm sure we'll know in the next few days who's won it. But I really hope that he does, because he's a real deserving winner.
Yeah, definitely. It just shows that everybody. Then that community, isn't it, rugby league? It's like a big family, isn't it? I know it quite, sometimes you think it's a bit cheesy, but everybody willing to help in it. When it's somebody involved in rugby or anything, every rugby town, whether your biggest rivals, your hatred or whatever, and everybody comes together in a tough time in rugby. I think that's one special thing about rugby. Yeah. Rugby players, rugby supporters.
Like you say, it's a real close-knit community, and when anything bad's ever happened or people have needed support and that, I think we're always the first there to help each other, and that's what I say about the sport. And I think it gets a recognition from other sports. I think we underestimate ourselves as a sport and what others do think of us. Like you say, I do think we lead the way in regards to the values of the sport.
It's like Johnny just said, then, isn't it? He feels like he's in rugby league royalty, and you totally don't class yourself. I don't, and certainly maybe you a bit more, Paul. Not you, would I?
No. I've got to say, I think you were talking to the two Pauls there, Micky.
Oh, right, okay, right.
And it's like Johnny. I speak of Johnny. Obviously, I'm a good friend of his, and I've got to know Johnny really well over a number of years. But there's somebody who's in regards to limelight and celebrity status, right up there. 1 minute he's on the Jonathan Ross show, and then next thing he's on a podcast with us idiots. And absolutely loves talking rugby league and talking St Helens and everything else. So, where he talks about rugby players and being down to earth and mucking in with the community. No more so than Johnny, because you look at the life that he's got. I dropped him off at his house in Richmond a few months back, and you look at that life in comparison. And as he said, I know speaking to him daily, you know, when we're doing the stuff and that. He is absolutely thriving on being back up here and being able to get back in the, you know, the environment where he's come through.
Yeah, I was just going to touch on it. It's fascinating now. Like he said, he's never felt this happy for a long time, being back, kind of stuck in lockdown in St Helens. You know, you're thinking, when a lot of other people thinking, what nice big house in Richmond down there. Yeah, but like, it just shows, doesn't it? Like you never forget them roots, or like, you know, where you're from.
You know, he's never forgot them roots, has he? And you know, he really does. And you know, it's funny when you watch him do the. You know, I've done a couple of days a week with the deliveries and that. Johnny's pretty much every day, and you know, he's done a lot with the Willowbrook Hospice and obviously other businesses as well in providing PPE. He's got a lot of suppliers involved with that and delivering them. And it's literally, you know, I know he had a couple of nights on the drink and he's apologising because he didn't feel up to doing the day after. Like, Johnny, it's not a 7-day week job, you know. But that's how much he cares about it.
Brilliant. I think it's a credit to both of you really, because and there, Paul, you do a lot for charity, you know what I mean? And the money that you raise, you know, especially for the Steve Prescott Foundation and, you know, all the other charity work that you do, you know, it's a credit to you. And it's, you know, it's great to see them people, you know, who have got that reputation helping, you know, people who are less privileged, really.
I think we've all done our bit, Woody, and I know you have, and I know Micky has over the years, and I think we are very lucky that the community that we're involved with, you know, and the rugby league wider community being part of that. So yeah, do you know what? It's just I was thinking. I mean, I watched a podcast once with I don't know if you've seen it, Denzel Washington, and in a selfish kind of way, one of the best ways to make you feel good about yourself is do something for somebody else. And it is, and it's not a selfish thing. You know, I'm only doing that so I feel good. You know, and I always say to people, if they're feeling down or think, you know, about exercising and things like that, but do something positive as well. Do something for somebody else. You know, it's a great podcast what he does, and they say that's I'm lucky. That's not the reason I do it. You know, I feel good, but it's it does make you feel good knowing that you're helping somebody less fortunate.
Yeah. I think there's definitely something in that, you know, when you can get on your sort of feeling sorry for yourself, and you can sort of get into them mindsets where you think, you know, your life's shit compared to somebody else, and you start comparing, and then all of a sudden you do something for somebody else, takes you out of yourself, doesn't it? And, you know, makes you realise how positive really your life is. And I suppose it's just having that a bit of humility and gratitude really. And, you know, there's a friend of mine always says gratitude changes the attitude, you know, and I think that it's such a powerful message that, you know, and I completely agree with you there, Scully. You know, if you're willing to help other people, it's such a powerful thing.
I think we're fortunate, you know, with the lives we've got, and, you know, being able to help somebody. You know, you look at this whole situation. You know, I think there's probably nobody in the world that's not been affected by this, either, you know, health-wise or financially. But, you know, financially, there'll be a lot of people lost a lot of business and a lot of money, and I know we all have. I know I have. But then you know, you look at it, compare that to people who've lost family members and things like that, and it's not nowhere near in comparison. So I think, you know, just putting things into perspective really, and, you know, be grateful for the things we've got.
Yeah.
Health is wealth, as they say. Guys, I think that'll wrap us up. I think we've just gone over an hour though. It's been our longest podcast, but it's been good. We always say, you know, it goes quick when we're enjoying it, and we have to keep an eye on time sometimes. But no, it's been fantastic. Unfortunately, we lost Johnny there, but yeah, some really good content there. Thanks for coming on there, Scully. It is much appreciated, mate. I know how busy you are.
Yeah, much appreciated, mate. And we
Anytime,
pass our thanks on to Johnny as well. I know he.
Yeah, of course I will, mate. And like I say, he'll share all the stuff on social.
I think he's gone for another cig. He only had 5 cigs while we were on that then.
He didn't want to crack a can while we were live.
It's tell him I'll forward that sitcom over to him as well.
Yeah. Look forward to reading that one.
Yeah, me too.
It's a blinder. Cheers, guys. Thanks very much for that.
Thanks.
Cheers.
Thanks, Paul.
Cheers, fellas.